following contest will be scheduled for one fall. It will be a fatal falling match for the X Division Championship.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Fort Campbell, Kentucky. This is Salute to the Troops. Fort Campbell as we kick the night off with the current reigning X Division champion, Rich Swann. Checking in on commentary. Good evening, everyone. Josh Matthews alongside Scott D'Amore. Scott, you picked a good one to join us tonight.
Yeah, Josh, this is awesome. Getting an opportunity to come out here to Fort Campbell and be part of this event for all of the amazing military, former active military, families and all that out here on Fort Campbell. What a great opportunity for everybody here with Impact Wrestling and Tried and True Wrestling.
Yeah, we thank our partner promotion, Tried and True, based in Clarksville, Tennessee. And we had the opportunity to meet so many great men and women and families, all who represent the United States and keep us safe.
Rich Swann is always having some fun here.
Rich has been keeping that X Division Championship safe for months.
Very aggressive stomp, Josh.
There's only one, Rich Swann, and you can see him every Friday night on Impact Wrestling.
Josh, I don't know about you, but I don't know if I could actually exert all of this energy dancing and then go into a match.
Look at the way Rich moves. Rich is having a good time with our official here. Four-way match for the X Division Championship. Caleb Conley is a mainstay with Tried and True. You've seen him on Impact Wrestling in the past. Caleb from North Carolina competes up and down the Carolinas. He's quite the competitor, Scott.
It also looks like he may be growing in a version of a mullet. It's like a mohawk mullet.
What's a skullet? I've always wanted to know.
I think a skullet is when you're bald, but yet are still hanging on to having the ponytail.
Gotcha. Caleb Conley, a good-looking young man. You know, a lot of these guys' opportunities we're going to talk about, you know, you leave somewhere and you go and hone your craft, you come back and you can become a bigger star.
Yeah, Caleb certainly had some success here in Impact Wrestling and has another opportunity here.
Making his way to the ring from Caterpillar, Tennessee, weighing 285 pounds, Jeremiah Plunkett.
Jeremiah Plunkett, from what I've been told, not a lot of people like this guy. He rubs people the wrong way, and he has a shirt on that said he is the X Division.
Well, he's already rubbed me the wrong way with that shirt. Certainly not looking like a cheery fella.
No, nor someone that should be competing in the X Division, but we've always said it's not about weight limits, it's about no limits, and perhaps Jeremiah Plunkett could be the next X Division champion.
Well, I'm not sure that Plunkett would be the biggest X Division champion in history. You know, guys like Samoa Joe, but certainly not cut from the normal mold.
And introducing next, making his way to the ring from Atlantic City, New Jersey, weighing in 190 pounds, the one true
The one true ace, Ace Austin, in the house here. This guy has not been pinned or submitted on Impact Wrestling television. And as we sit here on May 11th, you've got to think about all the highlights that are coming in the career of Ace Austin and what he did at Rebellion. Scott picked up his first pay-per-view victory.
Yeah, Ace Austin on an impressive role here in Impact Wrestling, and certainly not somebody who's lacking in confidence. Did you see the way he came right in the ring, snatched that X Division Championship belt?
This is Ace Austin, the one true ace. We saw him at Code Red in New York City. You think Ace is going to be one of those guys that you always see on the card, on Impact Plus and these Twitch shows, and just continues to get his reps in?
Well, certainly I think anytime that there's an opportunity to be in an event, be in a ring with Impact Wrestling, Ace Austin is the type of competitor who's going to take advantage of that opportunity.
So this is a four-way match for the X Division Championship. It's one fall to a finish. Everyone's legal at the same time. You have Jeremiah Plunkett, who is the largest gentleman in the ring with the beard. And you have Rich Swann, of course, he's the X Division champion. Ace Austin and Caleb Conley all set for action here.
Yeah, terrible match rules-wise for Rich Swann, as there's no champion's advantage.
No, he has a 75% chance of losing his championship, just a 25% chance of retaining the title here tonight. We've never had a championship change hands on Twitch. Maybe it happens tonight.
Right, I mean, I'm not sure that your math is correct. We'll have to call in Scott Steiner and check with him, but...
Maybe the dancing increases his percentage, well, decreases. Thanks to Caleb Conley and Jeremiah Plunkett, and Ace Austin's going to watch. What would your strategy be in a match like this?
Probably going to try to lay low for a little bit, let them beat each other up a little bit, and then slide in and try to steal a pin.
That's all it takes is 3 seconds. One man can win this match. Again, this is Salute to the Troops from Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
Yeah, I was pretty sure there that Ace Austin wasn't going to help Rich Swann up.
Great night for Impact Wrestling. We tried true to honor our troops. Love the camouflage ropes that we're seeing. Look at that, a double standing switch. Or would that be a triple standing switch? Ace Austin feels the brunt of it. Catches Caleb Conley. Back elbow for Plunkett. Ace Austin, he's a magician in the ring, Scott.
Oh, Ace can be a magician all he wants. Rich Swann there, waiting there, and like the veteran he is, sees his opportunity and drops Ace. Tit for tat there, though.
You know, you've known a former X Division champion, Petey Williams, for many, many years. Were you surprised that Ace Austin was able to pin Petey in that 6-man scramble back at Rebellion?
I mean, I think it certainly shows that Ace Austin is developing as a performer. 6 months ago, he never would have been able to do that. Petey Williams is a tough out. You beat Petey Williams, you've earned it.
We are officially on the road to Slammiversary, live on Sunday, July 7th in Dallas, Texas. As Caleb Conley looking for a quick pin there, and Ace Austin back and forth these two go. The night before Slammiversary, Saturday, July 6th, we'll be partnering with Reality of Wrestling in Houston, Texas. How cool will it be to be hanging out with Booker T?
Oh, Stevie Ray's there, too.
Oh, that'd be great. Heard he's starting a podcast.
I'll be listening to that.
Oh, Plunkett goes down off the efforts of Caleb Conley as he used Ace Austin. And then, of course, to wrap out our July events, Friday, July 5th, San Antonio Bash at the Brewery in partnership with RCW.
Does that mean we get to have a little bit of Sudsky with the event?
I'm going to save mine for the post show.
Yeah, probably a safer way to go.
Caleb Conley, he is the man who has been in control throughout much of this match. What would happen, Scott, if someone like Jeremiah Plunkett, it could happen, wins the X Division Championship? Does he come back and have to sign an Impact contract? How does that work?
There's actually a clause in the championship contracts that say if you win the championship, you're under contract through the duration of your reign.
So you know that when you are entering a match like this?
Well, sure. All these guys that when they aren't under contract, guys like Plunkett and Conley, they're looking for an opportunity to be a contracted performer for Impact.
So the way to get that contract guaranteed is by winning this. There's so much more on the line than a championship for these guys.
Yeah, you've seen in the past, I mean, at these events where we've been impressed by people and signed them, but take the risk rate out of it. Take it out of our hands. Win the championship. You're under contract with Impact.
So We'll see if that will happen here tonight for Caleb Conley or Jeremiah Plunkett. Will Rich Swann retain his title as he picks Conley off the top rope? All 4 men down with the X Division Championship on the line here at Salute to the Troops. Great to see so many kids smiling during our pre-show and everybody just hanging out. Once the action gets started, it gets very serious between these competitors, just like that from Jeremiah Plunkett.
Yeah, Swann looking to fly, but Plunkett having other plans.
Well, Jeremiah Plunkett is taking a lot of time right now. Is it serious? That puts on the brakes.
Plunkett not exactly known for his high flying.
No, he's known for being outlandish and kind of a jerk.
Here's a guy that can fly, Rich Swann.
Rich goes all the way over and takes out everybody. Jeremiah Plunkett down, Caleb Conley down, and Ace Austin as well.
Yeah, Rich Swann playing the bowling ball and letting his opponents be the pins.
Ace Austin came from out of nowhere and delivered the kick right to the mush of Rich Swann. As we're just getting started here tonight at Salute to the Troops. Johnny Impact is here. Wow! And the new world champion is here. Brian Cage. As Austin goes for the cover, hooks the outside leg, and it gets here. Another pinning opportunity, and another kick out.
Ace Austin really impressive as we watch him develop here week by week.
When you watch Ace, or the more tape that we get to see on Ace Austin, what are some of the things that you see that impresses you?
Well, certainly he's such an unbelievable pure athlete.
Ace catches Rich, plants him. Rich is trying to stay in control here. Big time kick to the back of the head. And Rich Swann is fired up in Kentucky.
Yeah, Rich Swann showing why he's the X Division champion. He's one of the very best in the world.
Swann taking out Plunkett. This is what you have to do in a match like this, right? Keep it one-on-one.
Yeah, he's eliminated the other 2 guys. Got them on the floor. Though Ace Austin here.
Covered. Oh, and a near fall.
You know, knock guys to the floor, get it to where you isolate one in the ring, like you said. Then you got an opportunity to score a pinfall without one of the others breaking it up.
Turn that percentage from 25% to 50% very quickly. As Jeremiah Plunkett takes out the back of Ace Austin. Plunkett tried to use his size here in the opening contest of Salute to the Troops on Twitch. Thank you for joining us all around the world. Now it's Plunkett in control. Imagine showing up here, finding out you're going to be in a 4-way for the X Division Championship. You have to deal with the likes of Rich Swann, who's been a champion all over the world.
Imagine tuning into Impact Wrestling this week and finding out that Plunkett is the X Division champion.
I'm going to have to do your research on that one. As Caleb Conley flies over, looking for a sunset flip on Jeremiah Plunkett. This is what we talked about earlier. Rich Swann doesn't have to be involved in the decision to lose his championship. If Conley pins Plunkett, Conley wins Swann's title. That may happen right here. Hooks the inside leg and a kick out. Can't blink in a match like this, can you?
No, you just can't. They're coming at you from all sides.
Rich is challenging Caleb Conley. Not sure that's a wise decision.
Yeah, Caleb Conley, tough competitor, Josh. He's been competing for a lot of years. He's been there. He's been all over the U.S., a little bit around the world, and he knows how to handle himself inside that ring.
Rich looking for a tornado DDT. Caleb Conley puts on the brakes and turns Swann inside out. Shoulders down and a kick out. Ace Austin was there to make sure the pinfall wasn't going to happen.
Great combination of strength and then technique by Caleb Conley almost made him the X Division champion.
A sign of disrespect here from Conley to Rich Swann.
Well, Conley's got a bit of an attitude going on him. He feels that his Impact contract ran out, nobody talked to him, and he felt that he deserved an opportunity to at least plead his case.
A little chip on his shoulder. Says, look me in the eye, Rich Swann. Swann fires away, keeps Austin at bay. There's a shot for Plunkett. Rich Swann looking to deliver here. Looking for a schoolboy. Conley trying to stay away from Rich Swann. And here comes Ace Austin.
Yeah, Ace in there quickly to break it up. Doesn't want to see his opportunity at the X Championship evaporate.
Rich lands on his feet, but waiting for him was Caleb Conley. Waiting for Rich again. This time is Jeremiah Plunkett. Oh! And the action has been non-stop in this match.
How many kicks do you think Rich has thrown this evening?
50.
You're really quick with that. 50. You been counting?
I keep the pitch count.
All right.
And Ace Austin and Caleb Conley thwart that attempt at perhaps kick number 51 from Rich Swann. Oh boy. They're looking to go into the lights, and there's Jeremiah Plunkett. And this could be dangerous for all four competitors. Plunkett in control. Oh, down goes everybody. Now who should Plunkett pin?
Well, you would think he would go at Rich Swann. He was at the top of the pyramid. Plunkett looks gassed.
Yeah, Plunkett, that might have taken everything out of him, and he allowed Ace Austin to get back to his feet. Oh! Snowplow from Plunkett. And a near fall.
You have to think if Plunkett could have not paused there after that move out of the corner where he threw everybody, he could be X Division champion now.
And are you surprised that we're this close to Louisville, Kentucky, and we saw our first snowplow?
Surprised it took that long.
Conley trying to do whatever he can. Goes up and over, turns back inside. Plunkett went to the outside. That was unique. This is what Ace Austin does. Wow, that was cool. Ace Austin got caught, and Caleb Conley's flying all over the ring.
Well, that's one of the problems when you have an impressive move like that, like Ace does there with that little dipsy doodle on the apron. Guys are starting to scout that now. He's going to need to elevate his game.
Big time moonsault, new X Division champion. Rich Swann says not so fast. Austin gets caught. Swann unable to connect with his signature spinning back kick. Who can get 3 seconds? Oh! Will it be Ace Austin? Will he win the X Division championship? Plunkett says not so fast. Plunkett now with the cover. Conley down and just pops out at 2. Here comes Rich Swann. That kick connects. Rich into the cutter. Rich with the cover. And Rich Swann retains his X Division championship. So here tonight at Salute to the Troops in Fort Campbell, Kentucky, Rich Swann puts on a show and retains the X Division championship.
Yeah, quite often we say that in these type of matches you have to neutralize some of the guys, isolate one, but you see Swann so quick, able to just go in there, hit that cutter, get a quick 1, 2, 3 before anybody else knew what happened.
Opening contact. Oh, and look at Ace Austin. Ace is confronting or congratulating or maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah, I think he was saying, sorry there, Josh. I think he was basically, oh my God, a slap from Rich Swann.
We got to get these two out of here. It's a budding rivalry.
Well, knowing Rich Swann, Ace Austin must have said something pretty strong to get that type of reaction out of Rich.
Nonetheless, Rich Swann retains the X Division championship here at Salute to the Troops. We got plenty more coming up tonight, folks.
Experience Impact Wrestling like never before with instant access to all your favorite episodes of Impact, Explosion, greatest matches, legends, content from promotions around the world, plus live monthly exclusive premium specials and so much more.
This is spectacular!
What a match!
Impact Plus has you covered with thousands of hours of on-demand action.
This has escalated quickly. He wants a world title shot!
Stream groundbreaking originals.
We are all artists.
Get more exclusive content. And experience a new and improved accessibility, control, and freedom like never before.
They are fired up here!
Start your free 30-day trial now and stream Impact Plus anytime on your favorite device.
And this crowd is electric!
Impact Plus. Experience Impact Wrestling like never before.
This night's just getting started!
The following contest will be settled on football. Ladies and gentlemen, from Dayton, Ohio, with 210 pounds, Sammy Callahan.
One of the most vile and vicious individuals who's ever graced an Impact Wrestling ring is Sammy Callahan.
That may be the nicest thing anybody's ever said about Sammy.
He's disgusting. Look at this. He just spits wherever he wants. I understand, Scott, that Impact Management has given up on trying to find Sammy for his spitting.
Well, we haven't. We still find him. He just doesn't seem to care.
Does he pay the money or is it just withheld?
Patty's pretty good about taking it right off of the checks.
I wonder if he can write off his spitting fines. I wonder if he even does his taxes.
Sammy says it's just a getting over tax that he sees he has to pay.
You think he's ever paid his taxes?
I'm not commenting on that when we're on a broadcast.
Oh, here we go.
What'd you say? I can't hear you. What'd you say? You don't tell me you're gonna keep booing. I'm gonna sit down right in the middle of the ring and we ain't doing nothing. I'll put the show on hijack. You know what? I'm not gonna let you guys dictate what I do, but I will say, look at this place. I actually love Fort Campbell. Don't get me wrong. I know I'm supposed to be the bad guy, but I grew up in a military family and I respect every single thing that you people do. You guys call yourself the Screaming Eagles. Is that what it is? The Screaming Eagles here in Fort Campbell. Or to be honest, all I really see is a bunch of choking chickens. I am freaking hilarious. And the Army, what's that actually stand for? Ain't ready for Marine jets. Just like the one-legged wrestler Chris Melendez ain't ready for Sammy Callahan to Fort Campbell. Yeah.
That's nice.
You boo and you cheer for me. You boo and you cheer for me.
How disrespectful is Sammy Callahan? And here's Sarge Chris Melendez, a man who served his country, a man who lost his leg in combat. Chris Melendez would come home and then realize, I'm gonna chase my dream. My dream is to be a professional wrestler. And with one leg, Chris would go to wrestling school, graduate and emerge, earn a contract, and Chris Melendez is here at Salute to the Troops. Great to see Sarge Chris Melendez.
Yeah, what an inspiration that Chris Melendez is.
And Callahan's going to
Who wants to see this loser talk? This is another Army loser like the rest of you. You know what? I ain't giving it to him. You can give it to him. You go give it to him. Let's see what he has to say.
Sammy doesn't even need a mic to be that loud.
Everybody again now. Please shut up from this point forward. What's up, Fort Campbell? What's up, Screaming Eagles? You know, when I served in Baghdad, Iraq, I served right alongside 101st Airborne. We weren't afraid of anything, and nothing stopped us. I had lost my leg from an IED attack shortly before I was set to come home. That didn't stop me. Nothing can stop me. Nothing stops 101st. You ain't stopping nothing. Nothing stops 101st. And you damn sure ain't stopping me tonight.
Oh, and here comes Sarge. Chris Melendez with an attack on Sami Callihan, who certainly deserves it.
Yeah, Chris taking exception to those extremely offensive words out of Sami Callihan's mouth. He's taking it into his own hands.
I thought Callihan was actually going to come out here and pay his respects to the Army, but he respects nobody.
You could not have really thought that, John.
Well, he started out by saying he grew up in a family that served in the military. And Sarge, sidewalk slam on Sami Callihan, who rolls to the outside. Did you get a chance to talk to Sarge earlier today?
I did. Just such a great, humble and respectful and just genuinely decent person. And I mean, a true war hero, Chris Melendez there. And Sami Callihan certainly showing him no respect for that.
With the stars and stripes behind us, and Callihan continues his wicked ways.
Yeah, so much respect for Chris and all the brave men and women of the armed forces. I especially have just so much admiration for all of them because I'm such a coward.
So you'd never go into battle?
I mean, I'd like to sit here and pretend I was tough, but I mean, it's one thing to do it out there in a wrestling ring. It's one thing to do out there and pretend you're tough. These people go out there and face it every day, and they do it with such courage and such valor.
Yeah, that's why I was so happy when Salute to the Troops was announced, and I think we have to make this a yearly event.
Yeah, any opportunity that we have to show some love and appreciation for the armed forces, I'm sure we all agree we'd love to be there and doing that. Anything that we can do for these fine men and women.
Maybe next year we can leave Sami in Dayton.
Oh, you just leave him in Dayton all the time? You know, I don't know if you saw, but myself and Don a couple weeks ago, we hosted the Twitch chat, and Sami Callihan was in the chat the entire time just being his obnoxious self.
I mean, that's who Sami Callihan is. He calls himself the Draw. He feels responsible for all the successes in Impact Wrestling. The guy's a lunatic. And then he goes home to Dayton in the Combine compound that he lives in as a cult leader, and they tell him how great he is. Look at this. This man served our country that he's arguing with.
I'd love to see him pop Sami right in the face. I never encourage a fan to get involved, but this may be the one time that I really want to see it.
Now Callihan is having second thoughts, and now look, he's making sure the referee keeps that fan at bay.
I think that somebody like this gentleman who's faced enemies on a battlefield is going to back away from Sami Callihan.
Callihan told me earlier today as he sprints around the ring, oh, and he got caught there by Sarge, and I don't know what this means, that he's the Danny DeVito of Impact Wrestling. I said, okay, and I walked away from Sami as quickly as I could. The man idolizes Danny DeVito. He actually tweeted that if Danny DeVito follows him on Twitter, he'll get a Danny DeVito tattoo on his body.
I have a feeling that, I mean, it's actually a bluff. He's getting that Danny DeVito tattoo no matter what.
Where will he put it on his body? He's got some room on his arms there, I guess. Sami Callihan has been called the doctor who is controlling the monster known as Madman Fulton. What's your take on Fulton?
Fulton's such an impressive individual. So big, so powerful, and an unbelievable athlete.
Sami recruited Fulton. He's got Dave and Jake Christ. They all live in the same house. They call it the Wrestler House. That should be our next Twitch special.
As long as I don't have to go there.
Well, he just spit in the air and caught in his mouth. What's wrong with this guy?
Might be the most nutritious thing he's ate all day.
It's disgusting. And he's got Sarge Chris Melendez up on his shoulders on the outside, and he's leaving. Oh, look what Sami's... He's going to take Sarge as far away from the ring as he can. And he's going to take a count-out victory. This poor referee. So a hollow victory.
Sami Callihan doesn't care how he gets the victory. He just wants to win. And if he can do it in a demeaning way, all the better.
That's exactly what this would be if Callihan can pick up the victory here. And salute to the troops. He's counting along. Now the referee at 6. Chris Melendez is trying to do everything he can to get back into the ring. This man is a fighter at 9, and he breaks the count. Good for Sarge. There's no quit in Chris Melendez. Callihan looking to put Sarge away here, and a reversal on the suplex. This place will erupt if Melendez can somehow find a way to defeat Sami Callihan. Referee to a count of 4. If he gets to 10 with both men down, this match will be a draw. Now it's 6. Callihan starting to stir, as is Sarge, and here comes Sami Callihan, the nefarious leader of OVE. Back and forth they go. You think Sarge has it in him to defeat Callihan, Scott?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh! That's the clothesline back the other way. Sarge starting to build some momentum here, with Fort Campbell behind him.
Sarge, such an inspirational story, a great athlete, a great man, and Sami Callihan gets so overconfident he could be taken out here tonight for sure.
Sarge, back suplex, goes for the cover, hooks the leg, Callihan down, and he almost had him.
Boy, if Sarge could have got down just a little bit quicker on that cover, I think he would have had him. And can you imagine how this place would have exploded, erupted in cheers?
We're going to have a celebration if Chris Melendez can defeat Sami Callihan. I'll be the first one at that party.
I'll actually buy the first round.
Then I'm definitely going.
I mean, it'll be with Ed's money, but Big Ted, you know, he's getting a lot of chatter going around the locker room these days.
A lot of people are talking about him. Ooh. Callihan stomping away at Sarge, Chris Melendez. Callihan considers himself a leader, but I don't think he'd ever go into battle. He'd send OVE, Dave and Jake Christian as pawns.
Yeah, Sami Callihan really just a sick human being.
Sarge trying to turn things around. He's still in this fight. Callihan. Death Valley driver out of the corner. That might do it. Sami Callihan, at the end of the day, as Chris Melendez kicks out at 2, Callihan into a crossface. At the end of the day, despite all of his faults, Sami Callihan is a hell of a wrestler.
Yeah, you can't take that away from him. He's an unbelievable wrestler. He's a madman, but he's also a very cerebral madman. A lot of the times when you think he's just being crazy, he's being a calculated crazy.
Crossface here. Will Sarge tap out? I don't think Sarge has it in him to tap out. He may pass out.
Yeah, there's no give up in Sarge.
And if his arm would have fallen one more time, the match would have been over and Sarge was able to hang on. Callihan is trying to keep this crossface locked in. Lost control of the arm though.
Yeah, Chris already showing that in some ways he's a much better man than Sami Callihan, because as we saw at Rebellion, there is quit in Sami Callihan.
Sami Callihan is begging away from Sarge Chris Melendez right now.
Oh, and what a coward.
Callihan with a low blow, unbeknownst to the official. Callihan into the cover. Hooks the leg and a kick out at 2.
There's no level that Sami Callihan won't stoop to. We watched him kick the leg out from a one-legged man now, and now he kicked him a little somewhere else.
As Scott mentioned Rebellion, we saw Sami Callihan and Rich Swann. Callihan demanded that Impact Management make that match OVE rules. He got his way, and at the end of the night, he was still defeated by Rich Swann. And Chris was able to connect there. Cover cover, hooks the leg. Callahan down, and he got him. Big win for Sarge. Chris Melendez picks up the win here at Salute to the Troops.
Yeah, the slide of Sami Callahan continues. He had problems at Rebellion with Rich Swann, and he's fallen at the hands of a war hero, and Chris Melendez here tonight.
I'm feeling like a rock star.
On Thursday, June 6th and Friday, June 7th.
This night's just getting started.
Our city, our people, our culture.
This is spectacular.
Impact Wrestling makes its return to the Melrose Ballroom in Queens.
It's the city that never sleeps. The epicenter of every universe. These lights will inspire you.
Don't miss 2 nights of Impact Wrestling's live television tapings from the Melrose Ballroom in Queens. Tickets are on sale now.
All set for our next contest here at Salute to the Troops on Twitch. Our ring announcer is enamored with Moose.
You'd have to admit, I think a lot of people are.
There we go.
Moose has offended a lot of people here over the last many months, but something he's done even more of is impressing people.
You know, this is a guy who played 7 years in the National Football League, watched the backs of some of the best quarterbacks in the league, from Matt Ryan to Tom Brady. And now here he is, wanted to live out his dream, could still be playing football if he wanted to, but wanted to become world champion. Is this a camouflage sequined moose robe?
Nah, I think it's green as in money, Josh.
Gotcha.
Well, Moose, last year at Slammiversary, came within a half a second of being our world's heavyweight champion. And after he was denied that, a little switch went off in his head, and we see this new Moose, maybe improved, certainly more dangerous.
Moose will have his work cut out for him. Representing the Rascals, Wentz and Trey in this 2-on-1 match against Moose. So Moose right off the bat is at a disadvantage, knowing that he's got to step into the ring with 2 competitors. They will have to tag in and out, but Scott, Moose doesn't have anybody to tag if he gets in trouble.
Moose doesn't feel he needs anybody to tag.
Going back to Rebellion last month, it was Moose teaming with the North, Ethan Page and Josh Alexander, to take on all 3 members of the Rascals. Moose and the North picked up the victory, and I have been nothing but impressed with Alexander and Page since they formed the North.
Yeah, Moose specifically demanding this match here tonight. He said he got an opportunity to get revenge directly with Dez at Rebellion. Now he wants it against these 2, Wentz and Trey.
Well, it was Dez who pinned Moose when Moose was picking apart the Rascals one at a time. And I think
I already gave you my glasses. I gave you my glasses.
Trey reminding Moose that he gave him his sunglasses back when they were in the treehouse.
I don't know if he really gave them to him, Josh.
That's a good point. Moose is such a nice and giving gentleman. Every pretty attractive lady that's in attendance tonight, Moose gave them a 1-month subscription to Impact Plus.
That was very sweet of him.
I don't know where Moose got the code that he gave out to them, but nonetheless, they all have 1 free month of Impact Plus on Moose.
He acquired it the same way he did Trey's glasses.
Forcefully?
Not forceful, just kind of took it.
Imagine Moose walking into the Impact offices, finding the digital department, and says, "Give me the code to Impact Plus."
I'd kind of like to see that. Can we arrange that? Can we send Moose to the digital department for a day?
Moose wants to shake the hand of Wentz here. I have no idea what's going to come of this. I wouldn't. Would you shake his hand?
I have shaken Moose's hand, but I didn't really want to do it.
Did he do that to you? He shoved Wentz right into the bucket.
He did not. Me and Moose have a pretty good relationship.
Well, you don't want to be world champion, and Moose does, so I guess you guys can be friends.
And I helped give him a lot of the tools that are going to make him a world champion.
That's a great point. Moose honed his craft. Border City Wrestling. Can-Am Dojo. And the tag was made to Trey. Side headlock and Moose.
Boy, look at that size difference.
I mean, on paper, right? I know you're a big hockey guy, so let me see if I can equate this to hockey. They call it the power play. So when you have the power play in hockey, and you're down a man, and it's 5-4, you have a clear advantage. So do the Rascals have that advantage? You often score more goals in the power play, right?
I mean, I think you do, Josh, but I also got to say I'm impressed with all the math you're throwing out there. The odds in our opener there in the X Division title, now power play percentages. You're a regular Scott Steiner.
You know, recently on an episode of Impact Wrestling, I was talking about IPOs with Don Callis and how if Moose were a stock and you can get in on the IPO, I mean, how much money would you put on Moose?
Yeah, you got to put a lot of it down, but then you also have to understand that he may end up a penny stock with that crappy attitude in his.
And that's the risk that you're willing to take, and maybe that's why Moose is sometimes, you know, when you talk about guys in the World Championship picture, Moose is like the fourth or the fifth guy that you mentioned, and not the first or the second. And look at the Rascals here.
I don't know if I would go out there and be mocking Moose like this. That's kind of funny.
He's still almost taller than both of them. And thanks for the assist. There's the attention to Trey, and Wentz is left in the ring on his own with the big man.
Yeah, Trey may be making the smart decision and getting the hell out of there.
Moose has wrist control here on Wentz. So nonetheless, even in a match like this, a 2-on-1 situation, you still think Moose would be favored to win?
I think he has to be. I mean, when you talk about just sheer physical prowess, you look at Moose. If you were going to go into a lab and build the perfect professional wrestler, I think it would look a hell of a lot like Moose.
And look at this, Hurricane Rana from Wentz as he's trying to take down the big man. Moose is not only big, but he's agile.
Yeah, our colleague Don Callis likes to refer to 5-tool players, and Moose certainly is one of them. He's got it all.
And Moose played his college ball at Syracuse. I believe it was a part of the Big East when Moose was there.
Look at how many kicks the Rascals throw, and they can't even take Moose off his feet.
Still on one leg, hobbling though, as the Rascals look to take advantage. This is where the Rascals can capitalize. Use your speed, stick and move. Standing, shooting star, double cover, and a kick out.
The great thing there was, the intelligent thing the Rascals did is they tripped Moose. They weren't going to take him down with force, so they did it with speed, agility, and brains.
So that was plan A. What's plan B, C, D, and F? Because Moose is back up.
Yeah, I mean, they might want to call Dez and see if he can get here, too.
As I mentioned, Johnny Impact is here. The new world champion, Brian Cage, is here. Oh! Second. 5-time Knockouts champion, Madison Rayne in the house.
The trajectory on that throw, I mean, it was just like throwing a dart right into that middle turnbuckle.
And you don't see that a lot. Oftentimes, Snake Eyes, they go to the top rope, and Moose said, I'm going to change it up and go right into the second.
Yeah, Moose just doesn't care.
Smile on the face of Moose. Told me earlier that he has a helicopter waiting for him when this match is over so he can get out of Fort Campbell.
That's probably the only thing that Moose and everybody here at Fort Campbell agree is they want him gone as soon as possible.
Moose says he's got big plans for this weekend. I understand that Moose was recently at the Kentucky Derby.
I wonder what kind of hot.
You think he drank the mint julep?
Oh, for sure. He's the julep guy.
Well, the Rascals are down on the outside. Moose is having a good time inside the ring. Well, and I'm not sure what Trey wants to do. Ben says he's sorry.
He's got to be in there to win. He can't be out here.
Notice Wentz isn't in a hurry to get in the ring himself.
Nope.
But he sure is willing to help Trey with it.
Trey off the ropes. Moose with a big-time pump kick. A couple of days before Rebellion, when Moose teamed with the North, I understand that Moose made his way around Toronto. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. wanted to meet Moose.
You put Vlad Jr. and Moose in the same room when you've got two of the world's greatest athletes together.
And Moose, he's just taking his time here.
Moose seems to really be enjoying this. You know, some thought that when him and the North defeated the Rascals at Rebellion, that would be the end of it. But certainly not to Moose. He says he's taken all three of them.
And I think that the friendship between Moose and the North is very dangerous for a lot of people on the Impact roster. Those three can run roughshod.
Yeah, certainly. You got three tremendous athletes there. Moose, 5-tool player like we talked about. Josh Alexander, the walking weapon, is a wrestling machine. And the wild card there is Ethan Page. Don't get confused by all the smash talking he does. He really is a talented competitor. And look at the condition he's got himself in the last few months.
Yeah, Ethan Page has done well for himself. Last night on Impact, Page went one-on-one with Rob Van Dam. A lot of people thought that Page was crazy for interrupting RVD last week, but then last night, Scotty, he was right there with one of the best of all time.
Yeah, when he hit that big running kick near the end, I thought that he had RVD down for the pin.
Imagine Rob Van Dam's first match back on Impact Wrestling after United We Stand, and he was almost defeated by Ethan Page.
I mean, a guy like Ethan Page is the perfect sleeper gamer match to a guy like RVD. Coming back, happy to be here, emotions are high, having fun. And Page is easy to overlook because he's such a smarmy guy. But don't underestimate him. He's a great athlete, and he showed that on this week's show.
You play a lot of fantasy football?
None.
Okay, so if you're picking guys that they're based on points and the bigger stars are more points in your bank, I think Page would be somewhere in the middle, but a very value player. I think Ethan Page has a huge upside.
Yeah. He has a huge upside. Josh Alexander has a huge upside, and they complement each other so well. It's like the little bit of areas where Page needs some work, Alexander's strong, and vice versa.
Trey is desperately trying to make the tag to Wentz. Step-up kick there, and now that's the window of opportunity. And can Wentz capitalize? Can Wentz and what is Moose doing? Moose said that he got poked in the eyes. And the official is believing Moose. I guess you don't have a choice, right? If somebody says, I don't.
And this is what makes Moose even more dangerous. Until Slammiversary last year, he played by the rules. That's gone.
Yeah, this is an all-new Moose. And, well, because of that break in the action, Moose was allowed to take advantage, stop the momentum being built. And the official never saw the tag because Moose had pulled her over. Wentz can't get back in the ring. Smart play by Moose.
Yeah, Josh, it's funny. This is a handicap match in favor of the Rascals, but don't you feel like the advantage is still with Moose?
Oh, absolutely. And now the tag is finally made to Wentz. Step-up kick there. I mean, you played line. Oh, there's a curb breaker. You played on the defensive line, right, in football?
Both offensive and defensive in my time in college.
And then how dirty is it in the trenches? That's where Moose was the best.
That's where he's at home. He was actually voted one of the dirtiest players in the NFL.
Oh, he was quickly becoming one of the dirtiest players in all of wrestling. And watch this train to Moose Nation.
What an unbelievable combination of strength and speed when you've got Moose.
Can Moose put away the Rascals with Trey on the outside and Wentz inside the ring, and the fans are actually chanting for Moose. He's won some of these fans over. Perhaps with his athleticism alone.
Well, that's the thing. Moose is such an unbelievable competitor and athlete. Sometimes it's hard to not be behind him, but then other times he does things just so disgustingly ignorant that it's hard to be behind him.
Yeah, I mean, it happened to Rocky in Russia. Why can't it happen for Moose here at Fort Campbell, Kentucky?
If you could change, then I can change. I want to get changed.
I mean, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about that. Moose is trying to...
You know, Jimmy Jacobs says everything that I do revolves around Rocky. He says 1 through however many they made.
7.
Yeah, I don't think Jimmy Jacobs knows that. I didn't think he even knew there was multiples. He thought it was 1.
That's pathetic.
It's Jimmy Jacobs.
As Moose is jabbing away. Hey, Jimmy Jacobs doesn't know. Moose is winding up.
That could be a show. Jimmy don't know.
Oh! Moose knows right now. And if he continues this, he's going to pick up the victory. And for Moose, it's all about winning. It's all about getting to that pay window as the winner. Oh, collecting more cheddar so that he can buy more jackets. And watches and Bentleys.
Yeah, Moose does not live a conservative lifestyle.
Smile on the face of Moose as he winds up again. Looking for the game changer and got caught. Took too much time, right, Scott?
Yeah, and he eats that kick there, and he's still on his feet.
Big time in now.
Down he goes!
Now down for the first time in this match, significantly down after that knee to the jaw. Can Wentz make the tag?
Moose crawling for his corner.
Yeah. Nobody there for Moose. It's a 2-on-1 advantage for the Rascals. There's nobody there, Moose. Maybe he got hit so hard in the jaw, Scott, he thinks he's got a partner there.
Yeah, there might have been a flash knockout there with Moose. He's reaching and trying to make the tag to somebody who doesn't exist.
Now Moose agreed to these stipulations tonight.
Yeah, and Moose just realized there he's on his own.
Trey! Little do-si-do all the way around the ring. Comes flying in with the kick. Trey looking to deliver with a missile drop kick. In Fort Campbell.
Boy, for the first time tonight, Moose is really in trouble right now.
Can the Rascals put away the big man? Well, Trey was signaling for some sort of a power move.
Oh boy, I don't know about this.
Double suplex?
This is a bad idea.
This may be a more traditional double suplex if Moose turns this thing around on the Rascals. Oh boy. Here comes Wentz. Can Moose suplex too? No, there we go.
Wow.
Trey with the cover. Shoulders down and Moose kicks out. You know, you look at Moose in there with these Rascals. I mean, these guys are, they're put together. They're grown men. Moose just dwarfs them.
Yeah, look at it. Rascals working in tandem to chop Moose down.
Trey comes flying in with the cover. Hooks the leg. Shoulders down and a kick out at 2 by Moose. Moose is going to try to buy himself some time. I don't know if the Rascals will give it to him. Oh, boy. Nice move there by Trey.
Yeah, Moose thought he got out of the way the first time, but Trey had something else in mind.
Wentz goes all the way over the top rope, and the big man is down. This is like an air raid from the Rascals.
After not being knocked off his feet for pretty much the entire match, Moose has spent most of the last couple of minutes on his back.
Here comes Trey. He goes all the way over, and this time Moose catches him. And Moose sends Trey into Wentz.
What strength!
When you're as strong as Moose is, jackhammer needed spear. Good night. Against all odds, Scott Moose picked up the win.
Yeah, great showing by Moose. He said he was going to do it alone, and he did. Rascals, unbelievable competitors, but Moose is the elite of the elite.
Do you think Moose will ever be done picking on the Rascals? He picks up the win here at Salute to the Troops with plenty more action coming up.
Experience Impact Wrestling like never before with instant access to all your favorite episodes of Impact, Explosion, greatest matches, legends, content from promotions around the world, plus live monthly exclusive premium specials and so much more. Impact Plus has you covered with thousands of hours of on-demand action. Stream groundbreaking originals. Get more exclusive content. Start your free 30-day trial now.
The following contest will be
Action continues here at Salute to the Troops.
And there's the music that I hate hearing.
Imagine being called the king of all evil.
And Bram just loves it. Like I said, every time this music strikes, I just get a little bit of a crawling sensation on my neck. He's a scary, scary dude. He's a vile human being. And I'm just happy that we're this far away from the ring while Bram's out there.
Yeah, we are safe, perhaps, unless Bram turns his attention on us. I used to call him the Chesterfield Plague from Chesterfield, England. This dude is just downright nasty. He loves to fight.
I mean, you said that if he turns his attention here, there's really he's not going to, right?
I hope not.
I mean, if he does, I'm going to throw you out of it. I hope that gives me time to run away. No offense.
I mean, and look, every man for himself, I guess, when Bram wants to or turns his attention towards you. I once asked Bram, I saw him on an airplane, and I said, hey, I got upgraded. Do you want my seat? He said, I just sit wherever I want.
Good strategy.
His opponent from Boston, Massachusetts, weighing 230 pounds, then coming to the ring by
Eddie Edwards swings for the fences, and he may be the perfect opponent or tag team partner for Bram. We thank you for joining us here on Twitch. This is our Twitch monthly special. Next month, June, we will be in Long Island, New York for Digital Destruction. Look forward to that show.
An aggressive name.
Tickets are available right now at houseofhardcore.net.
I was right up there, like when Tommy said, human being.
Human. I think human. And Eddie's leaving. Oh, no, he's not. You never know what Eddie's going to do. And then, of course, in July, our Twitch special, Deep Impact, in partnership with Reality of Wrestling. So Eddie's associate here, Kenny, who's actually started to get introduced in matches, like he's a human being or something.
Go tell Eddie he's not.
No, thank you. Maybe I'll tweet at him anonymously.
I think Kenny has his own Twitter now.
Why wouldn't he? See what Eddie has in his pocket. He's okay. You think if I'm enamored by the antics of Eddie Edwards. This guy at one point in time was just a great wrestler. You know what I mean? It was just, you saw him, he come out, he had his tights on, and he was just one of the best wrestlers on the roster.
Well, he still is one of the very best wrestlers, not just on the roster, but in the entire world.
I mean, running down the resume of Eddie Edwards, 5-time Impact Wrestling World Tag Team Champion, former World Champion, former X Division Champion, Triple Crown winner, first ever GHC World Heavyweight Champion in Pro Wrestling Noah, first ever foreigner to win that championship. That was such a high honor for Eddie because he trained, Scott, as you know, in the dojos of Japan.
Yeah, when you come out of the dojos in Japan, that Noah dojo, you're battle tested.
Well, what exactly happens there?
I think a lot of things that aren't allowed in North America to be done in dojos anymore.
Gotcha. Hip toss out of the corner for Eddie Edwards on Bram. Bram recently returned to the United States full-time after spending a few years back in England. The independent scene in England, as you know, Scott, red hot.
Yeah, it's a crazy scene over there, just like it is here in the United States. And Eddie Edwards getting jacked up.
Impact's so proud to partner with so many various promotions all over the world, especially tried and true here tonight. And there's the Chesterfield play, and this match is over. That's it. Bram's been disqualified.
Well, that didn't take long.
It certainly broke down, and the referee's trying to do everything he can to let him know the match is over. Eddie Edwards is victorious. Bram's got to get out of here. Well, I guess Bram wasn't looking for a clear victory to impress Impact Wrestling tonight.
The winner of this match, via disqualification, is Eddie Edwards.
Although maybe he did impress Impact Wrestling tonight.
Yeah, and Bram doesn't seem to even care that he got disqualified.
Nope, Eddie's music's playing, Bram's laughing. He doesn't care. What a lunatic.
Bram is such a creepy, insane human being. I think I'd rather hang out with Sami Callihan and the Chris as opposed to him.
That speaks volumes. Please, please, please keep Bram away from Sami because I don't want any sort of friendship or relationship built between those two. My God, Callahan's building an army.
I didn't come here to Fort Campbell to get the win like that. Bram, I came here for a fight. How about me and you right now? A street fight right here in Fort Campbell.
What's wrong with this guy?
Well, I know that Eddie Edwards said earlier today what an honor it was to be here and how excited he was to get to fight in front of these great veterans and active service military, and he wants to go to town.
Scott, he won the match. It was over. He no longer had to deal with the Chesterfield plague, Bram, and instead says, no, let's have a street fight.
Well, you talked about how Eddie Edwards was one of the best wrestlers, is one of the best wrestlers in the world, but by God, he loves to fight.
And Eddie has a fight on his hands now with Bram. Bram was disqualified for using a steel chair, but now it's a street fight. Anything goes.
Chairs are legals, tables legals, and Kenny's legal.
And Eddie is going to the back, and he'll find whatever he can. He's probably got a whole slew of weapons. Yep, look at that. Eddie Edwards comes prepared.
Ah, that can's brand new. It even has the sticker.
Oh! So Eddie doesn't travel with the stuff? You think he just goes to a hardware store when he gets into town?
How would you check that?
I don't know. He has a... Who knows?
How many bags to check? None.
What?
Just a can. And some plunder.
Plunder. Bram looking to pillage all over Eddie Edwards here at Salute to the Troops. This is a street fight, so we might not be safe where we are located. So your plan to throw me in front of Bram...
It's a good one.
Yeah, you might need it. And Eddie takes advantage. Hangs Bram up, and, well, sometimes you don't need to say anything. Oh!
Eddie Edwards has heavy hands with those chops.
Again, we go back to Eddie's training in Japan, in the dojos. And they just keep, what do you just chop like wood all day? Like barbells? Like what is it that you do? I want to know.
You can't know. The first rule about the Noah Dojo is you don't talk about the Noah Dojo.
Well, maybe I'll go there.
Oh my God, I'll pay to fly you there.
Eddie's got a cane that he took from a fan.
Not Kenny, Kane.
Yeah, the fan's gonna need that back, I assume. There you go, thank you. Kind sir. I guess it's bring your own weapons night at Fort Campbell.
Uh-oh, where are they going here?
This is like a scene of what's gonna take place when Impact Wrestling heads to Philadelphia next week. Oh! Graham is in the crowd.
Graham may be regretting that decision to try to get himself disqualified now.
Or accepting the street fight stipulation and coming back into the ring. Look at this. Eddie's saying, let's pose for a selfie while I have my fingers in your mouth. You're nasty.
Yeah, Graham is one of the toughest individuals in this industry, and he's just been getting knocked pillar to post and all over the venue by Eddie Edwards.
And the bleachers now, far away from the ring. Told you I didn't think we were safe. Eddie is literally posing for pictures. Oh!
These guys are going to start fighting all over the buildings, and I'm going to tell Big Ted we need danger pay.
Yes! It's a great idea.
All you heard was extra pay.
Yes. Oh! Eddie and Bram, are they making their way back towards the ring? It's so hard to tell from where they are, and Bram's going to stop and take a sip. And sprays the beverage into the eyes of Eddie Edwards. I assume that was some sort of a beer or a lager. I saw our PR rep, Ross Foreman, in the last camera shot. Maybe they'll go over there and punch Ross.
Oh my God, could we be so lucky?
Again, no countouts, folks. This is a street fight. Referee will follow them around.
Are they heading to the doors?
This fight may literally spill out onto the base here in Fort Campbell.
Graham is such an impressive person, such an impressive competitor.
He's correcting traffic right now. Again, as we mentioned, folks, Madison Rayne, 5-time Knockouts champion. She's here. She'll be in action coming up.
You mentioned Madison Rayne a lot. What's up with that?
I think I have a crush on her.
Yeah, you're not the only one.
She'll be in a match with Callie Young.
Boy, those two have been going at it.
Yeah, they've had some battles. They had a match in Louisville, and then live at Owensboro, Kentucky, and now this is the rubber match between the two of them. Suplex on the outside by Bram.
Yeah, you mentioned battle, and what a battle we have here between Bram and Eddie Edwards.
How will this fight end? Will these two make their way back into the ring at some point? I hope so. In a street fight, though, anything goes, and these two are showing that for sure.
Bram keeps talking smack to Eddie there.
Bram now with another chair. He places that one inside the ring. He's got another chair. He's just getting what, and fans are handing him chairs.
Yeah, the people here at Fort Campbell just very cooperative.
I would be running for the hills. Fourth and fifth, and there's...
Oh, he grabbed Kenny.
Yep, Eddie doesn't like when somebody touches Kenny. Are there more than one Kennys? It's gotta be, right? Oh!
I don't know if I'd tell Eddie that.
You think there's one that he likes the most?
I mean, he cuddles it, he kisses it. I mean, it's an interesting dynamic. Oh!
And look at Bram. He's going to work now with one of these steel chairs, excuse me, that's a heavy, hard plastic. Sometimes these can be more dangerous than steel chairs.
Oh yeah, but just look at how thick they are.
Dense. Bram, now he's got a studded belt.
Did you just call Bram dense? I'm telling him.
No, please don't. I was talking about the chair. Oh my.
Well, at least he had something on underneath it.
Eddie trying to fight back.
What a right hand by Bram.
Bram is such a brawler. He's like a throwback, isn't he? Does he remind you of anybody from the 70s or the early 80s?
He's a throwback almost all the way to the Neanderthal era.
Yeah. Probably fight a dinosaur.
Just such a big, strong, impressive person there, Bram. You don't see many competitors like him.
Now when he's got the gritty voice, usually chewing tobacco. He's a man's man.
So what you're saying is you and him don't get along.
We don't have a lot in common.
I don't think Bram has a lot in common with many people.
Nope. Maybe some lumberjacks. Look at Eddie Edwards, Hurricane Rana off the buckle. Eddie flies into the cover, hooks the leg, and a kick out. These two might have a lot in common if they actually talk to each other.
Yeah, these two might actually strike up a friendship. How scary would that be?
Trying to think of a tag team name for Bram and Eddie Edwards. Clinically insane.
That's not bad.
Oh! Weapons everywhere. I think if Eddie sees Kenny, he'll try to use that to his advantage. Bram with the reversal, baseball slide. Eddie showed some of that wrestling background. Blue Thunderbomb coming. Shoulders down. Bram's in trouble when he kicks out at two.
Josh, this is one of the kind of amazing, interesting, unique matchups that we get when we go around to these partner events with companies like Tried and True. You get to see one of our very best in Impact in Eddie Edwards with another world-class competitor in Bram.
Yeah, and when you sit down with the Impact Wrestling committee of individuals who think of these matches and come up with these matches, and you see a match like Bram and Eddie Edwards, you kind of go, oh, that would be really cool to see, and then we deliver.
Yeah, I mean, I don't sit down in those meetings because, just like my friend Don, I'm just an announcer.
Oh, what a spear from Bram, and is that enough? A kick out at two.
Wow, I thought Bram had him there.
That was close.
Just shows you the guts and the intestinal fortitude that Eddie Edwards has to be able to kick out after that.
What's it going to take to win this match after something like that? A devastating spear from Bram, and now he's setting up chairs in the corner. This could be total devastation.
Bram stacking up all those chairs. He cannot have anything other than a sick, twisted plan here.
Bram's got Eddie Edwards up. Oh! Oh boy. This could be dangerous. Looking for a superplex. Eddie's trying to hang on, trying to fight free. Now this could be a dangerous situation for Bram.
Yeah, that's the problem here. You set it up to use it on your opponent, but if the tables can be turned.
Eddie looking for a power. Oh my, on the chairs. Eddie crawls into the cover, hooks the leg, and he a kick out.
I do not know how Bram was able to kick out after that.
Neither does Eddie Edwards.
Bram showing why he has always been labeled a potential world champion.
Can Bram somehow get back into this?
I'll tell you, Bram certainly has been impressive here tonight. This is the first opportunity I've had to see him since he's returned to the United States, and he's more impressive than ever.
Would fit right in, you think, with some of the... Oh, cast. And then, now, folks, this is a street fight. So when Eddie Edwards went for the kendo stick and Bram with the low blow, the referee saw it, but there's nothing he could do. It was all legal. Bram with a garbage can that was introduced to this match by Eddie Edwards. Oh, and Eddie with a low blow with Kenny. Kenny does the dirty work.
Yeah, a little tit for tat there. Or nut for nut.
Garbage can. On to Bram.
Oh, boy.
Now he's blinded, has no idea when or where these shots will come. And Eddie, a proud Boston native, is swinging for the fences in Fenway. Got him.
Eddie Edwards channeling the spirit of Teddy Williams, hitting a home run there on Bram's head.
So Eddie goes 2-0 against Bram tonight. First time he won by disqualification, then wanted a street fight, and he's able to pin Bram here in this match. What's next for Eddie Edwards? He's heading to Philadelphia, folks. The 2300 Arena. The most extreme arena of all time. Eddie will be there.
On July 7th, a new star will be born in Dallas, Texas. Impact Wrestling presents its anniversary show, Slammiversary. Be there live, because today's moments are tomorrow's memories. Impact Wrestling presents Slammiversary. VIP packages go on sale this Friday, and tickets go on sale this Monday. Go to ImpactWrestling.com for details.
The following contest will be Super Bowl football.
Action continues here at Salute to the Troops. Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion. He is Brian Cage. Last night on Impact Wrestling, Cage gave us an update as to his injuries. And we look forward to seeing Brian Cage return to Impact after winning the championship at Rebellion. Look at the size of Brian Cage. This man is an imposing figure. So much. So impactful. So many moves.
He doesn't even look human the way he's put together.
He is truly the machine. If we didn't see the way his blood spilled all over Toronto when he won the championship, I wouldn't be shocked if he wasn't a machine. Jake Crist accompanied to the ring by Sami Callihan, who came up short against Sarge Chris Melendez earlier tonight. So we'll see if we can get some OVE vindication, but that's easier said than done when you're in the ring with someone like Brian Cage if you're Jake Crist. But Jake's often been called one of the most underrated athletes on the Impact roster. He idolized Rob Van Dam as a kid. You can see that in some of his offense. According to Rob, you can see it in the offense of everyone who wrestles in 2019.
There's a little bit of truth to that, but I also think there's some truth to what Ethan Page said. I've never seen him attempt RVD offense.
And well, right now, Jake Crist is having a tough time with our official, and Cage says, I've got this. And no, Cage says the referee's the winner. Oh, you never know what's going to happen on Twitch. Long, who's a Twitch subscriber. I'm a Tier 1 subscriber. How about you, Scott?
I mean, I just stole your password and used it.
Wonderful. Maybe that's why I'm a Tier 1 subscriber. Cage in the black and orange. Jake Crist dressed in the traditional OVE All Blacks. Nice takedown there. I mean, if you're Jake Crist, you're in there with the world champion. Huge opportunity, but you're in there with Brian Cage.
Yeah, and the medium draw has certainly stepped up his game a lot here in recent months, but boy, does he have his hands full.
What's your take on Jake Crist being called the most underrated wrestler on the roster?
I mean, I certainly think that he gets overlooked a lot of times because Sami Callihan is such a loudmouth and such a really spectacular performer when it comes to the things he's willing to do to himself and his opponents. I think Jake Crist really does get overlooked.
Look at these clotheslines in the corner from Brian Cage. Jake Crist is going to, I say this in a match against Brian Cage, use your speed, but oftentimes in a match, Cage is just as fast as his smaller opponent. There's really not much that Brian Cage can't do.
Boy, and Jake Crist threw everything there at Brian Cage, and Cage just popped right up and took Jake Crist's head off.
Brian Cage looks around. Salute to the troops. He's making sure that Sami Callihan's kept at bay. And Callihan, I believe, is conducting interviews with our fans at ringside. Maybe he's recruiting for OVE. Jake Crist looking for a hurricane run out of the buckle.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Watch out! Big time buckle bomb there by Brian Cage, and Jake Crist is down on the outside yet again. They keep any tanks here at Fort Campbell?
To use one against Cage?
Yes.
Might be Jake Crist's best option.
Jake Crist and Sami Callihan were involved in the main event of Impact Wrestling just last night. 4-on-4.
Oh, God, look at Sami Callihan there.
Callihan is a very interesting individual.
For all of his talk about family, he certainly wasn't afraid to sacrifice Dave Crist.
That's the kind of guy Callihan is. And these guys continue to follow him.
Well, now maybe here to play devil's advocate, maybe it was a very cerebral plan of Sami's there, very elaborate, setting up that opportunity for Jake Crist to chop down Brian Cage.
We recently had Madman Fulton on Press Pass, which is Impact Wrestling. Yes, Impact Wrestling's weekly press scrum sort of podcast style show. And I asked Callihan, I said, you just follow? All right, so I asked Fulton, you just follow Callihan wherever he goes? And he said, it's not a cult, but yes, I do. I'll do whatever he says. So,
that's not a cult.
Not a cult.
I just go where he tells me to go, when he tells me to go there, wearing what I wear, and do what he tells me.
And I give him some money.
I think he takes all their money. Yeah, I'm starting to like Sam.
Got something going. Look at the strength of Cage. He may keep Jake Crist up there all night. Delayed vertical. Callahan's trying to pick the ankles, and he's successful. Shoulders down, huge upset and a kick out. Cage's championship isn't on the line tonight. And as he was walking back and forth, Scott, during our last video package, we saw him and he didn't have the championship. We said, you're not going to bring the championship out. He said, no, if I put the championship down, Callihan will steal it and have it sold by the time the match is over.
Well, Brian may be smarter than I give him credit for.
Highly intelligent move by Brian Cage.
Well, earlier tonight we saw Moose in a handicap match against the Rascals. Brian Cage kind of in a similar situation here, even if unofficially a handicap match.
Yeah, you got to keep your eye on Sami Callihan at all costs, and there he just poked Cage right in the eye. What is wrong with this guy? Oh, big time DDT there by Jake Crist. He just planted Brian Cage face first off the floor.
Yeah, and you notice there, Jake Crist was able to float over the mats and take Cage's head to the unprotected floor.
That's a dangerous situation now for Brian Cage. He may not beat the count back in. Callihan will throw Jake into the ring. And in the box score tomorrow, it'll say Jake Crist defeated the world champion Brian Cage.
Oh, see, this is a mistake. Yeah. Jake Crist should have rolled in the ring and left Cage out there.
You think that's what Callahan's telling him? Well, Jake Crist, he does have Cage back inside the ring. He's got the machine in a headlock position here. Jake have good body placement there on Cage?
No.
More, I mean, there should be more on the back, more pressure on the neck.
It's like a mouse mounting a caribou.
Oh, that'll work. A lot of people say the eyes are the groin of the face, Scott. Oh! Yeah!
OVE here working together to down the world's champion.
Jake Crist goes for the cover, hooks the leg on Cage, who kicks out at 2. And now Jake, a little bit better positioning here on Cage.
Yeah, it's just so hard when your opponent is that much larger than you to get any type of real leverage over top of them.
Cage back to his feet, firing away. Johnny Impact is here tonight, folks, and faces Crazy Steve. Look at the strength of Cage. It's unbelievable. Oh! Cover by Jake Crist, hooks the leg, and Cage pops free at 2.
Well, you remember a few weeks ago in Windsor, Brian Cage, that back of his head was open wide up, blood everywhere. Jake Crist just hit that button.
Yeah, I mean, Cage is truly, I mean, we've seen him in matches where blood is spilling. It happened at Rebellion, it happened in Windsor, and somehow Brian Cage just keeps on going. Have to respect what Brian Cage can do inside the ring. He's a tenacious athlete.
Well, that's why he's the world's champion.
We know that it will be Michael Elgin next in line to challenge Brian Cage for the championship after Elgin won that #1 contenders match on Impact Wrestling. Johnny Impact's walking around with Ultimate X, though, that he won last month at United We Stand.
Yeah, very interesting times here at Impact Wrestling.
We said on the show that Impact is the de facto #1 contender for the world title. Big time throw there by Brian Cage. Shoulders down and a kick out. Do you lose sleep if you're Brian Cage knowing that Johnny Impact has Ultimate X at his disposal?
Sure, Brian's somebody who's cashed in Ultimate X. Used Option C to get his first world championship title shot.
Yeah, many people thought that Brian Cage took a very unique route to the world's championship, and he knew exactly what he was doing. Wow, what a shot to the back of the head there by Jake Crist. You can see that RVD influence, and the offensive Jake Crist cover, shoulders down and a kick out.
Yeah, Brian Cage is going to have people coming at him every single day from all different angles like he's never experienced before.
I can't wait to see the collision between Michael Elgin and Brian Cage when that happens.
Man, that's going to be unbelievable. Michael Elgin walking away from a massive deal in Japan and coming here to Impact saying, I'm going to prove that I'm the very best.
And if he beats Brian Cage and becomes world champion, he may do just that. Jake Crist says thumbs down to Brian Cage, and Cage just engulfs the entire fist of Jake Crist. Oh, nice cover. And a cover. Lateral press. Legs hook, champ down, and a kick out.
That was a deep 2 count there by Crist. I mean, that wasn't a strong kick out by Cage. That shows that OVE's tactics here starting to wear down the machine.
You know, one of the things, Scott, that we talked about when Johnny Impact was world champion, and Johnny Impact was a competitor who defended the title almost too much. Do you think that Cage could get caught up in that sort of situation?
Well, he certainly could. Look at the situation he's in.
Oh. Title not on the line tonight, but man, Brian Cage is wearing himself out in this match, to say the least. Jake Crist gets caught with a knee. Cage loves the action, though. Jake looking for the cutter yet again, thrown off, and now planted. Spine buster, center of the ring, and somehow Jake Crist kicks out.
Yeah, shades of Arn Anderson with that spine buster. And notice Jake Crist doesn't just kick out, but he pulls himself to the ropes, gets himself away from danger.
Cage looking for the Terminator clap here and salute to the troops in Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
You know what they need in here is a giant flag.
Stars and stripes behind us. As Cage, well, there's Sami Callihan. Can Cage suplex both of them? Callihan, and he's been ejected. See ya, Sammy.
That's one of the best decisions I've seen made in a long time.
I'd say hit the showers, but Callahan knows what one of those are.
Let's just turn a fire hose on him.
Jake Crist, welcome back inside the ring. Brian Cage has Crist down, and Jake Crist stays alive. Have you been impressed with Jake Crist tonight?
I think he's been amazingly impressive here, Josh. He's in there with the world's champion, and he's been standing toe-to-toe. And like I said, he's starting to score some deep pinfall attempts, getting deep in those twos, and that's where you're starting to see the effects of everything come together.
Oftentimes we say if you can beat the champion in a non-title match, you automatically earned a future championship opportunity. Jake Crist ducks the clothesline, catches him. Death Valley driver from Jake Crist. Cover, shoulders down yet again and again. Brian Cage escapes.
Notice how Jake Crist maybe doesn't have the strength to get up to Brian Cage. He uses Cage's own momentum against him. That as soon as he gets him, he quick snaps him down so he doesn't have to hold the weight. That takes the weight off of him. It also increases the impact that Cage has to absorb.
Yeah, more velocity on the Death Valley driver from Jake Crist, and he's got Brian Cage on the ropes. Shot there. Step up kick. Can Jake Crist somehow pull off what would have to be considered the upset of the year?
Everybody brings their A game when they're against the world's champion.
Cage is down, planted. Crist rolls him away from the ropes, hooks the leg, and at one.
Oh, I think Cage is getting mad.
The machine rises. And this may be end game for the real-life Avenger. Weapon X. Good night. Brian Cage has Weapon X at his disposal and picks up the win over Jake Crist.
Yeah, that's the difference between a very good wrestler and a great one. Jake Crist was out there and pushed the world champion, but when the world's champion had enough, Weapon X, and it's over.
What's next for Brian Cage? Who better than Brian Cage? Victorious here at Salute, and here comes Callahan. Callahan with an attack. A blindsided attack from Callahan.
This is what Brian Cage is going to have to get used to as the world's champion.
Oh, he's ready. He's ready for Callahan. F5.
Not a good night for OVE.
Sami Callahan, thanks for coming. Brian Cage is the world champ.
This July,
This is spectacular!
St. Clair College will be the epicenter of professional wrestling as Impact makes their return to Windsor.
Every time we come to Canada, these athletes over-deliver and step up their game because of these great fans.
Watch the fallout from Slammiversary unfold live and in person.
This is why you can't miss these shows.
Don't miss Impact Wrestling Live, Friday, July 19th and Saturday, July 20th. Tickets are on sale now.
The following contest will be Slammiversary One Fall.
Callie Young. We've seen her compete when Impact Wrestling partnered with Ohio Valley Wrestling in Louisville, Kentucky. She faced Madison Rayne, and in that match, Madison Rayne picked up the victory.
Actually, it's C-A-L-I-U-A-L-I.
Okay. C-A-L-I-U ain't got no Callie. Bye. Then these two had a rematch in Owensboro, Kentucky. by Critical Transformation. And that match was actually won by Callie Young. She stole a victory from Madison Rayne. So you know what they call this match, right, Scott?
The rubber match.
The old rubber match. Match number 3 in this series between Madison Rayne and Callie Young.
Yeah, what a moment for Callie Young to be able to score a victory over a multiple-time champion like Madison Rayne.
I asked Madison Rayne earlier tonight, I said, will you look past Callie Young when you guys meet for the 3rd time? And she said, get away from me, creep.
I think she says that to you all the time. She can't look past her here because now she's been upset. We talk about it all the time, going into a sleeper situation, a sleeper game, a trap match, as they call it. And Madison Rayne got trapped. Easy to look past Callie Young because she's young and inexperienced, but she's training at OVW. She's training with the very best. She's getting in the ring with Al Snow. That makes her dangerous, and Madison Rayne found that out.
Yeah, and then when you look at that match, and now here we are tonight, there's a bigger spotlight on this match because you kind of look at the first one and say, okay, you know, Appalachian State can beat Michigan once. Can they do it twice?
Right, and the thing is, too, is, I mean, I'll say this from the comfort of the distance we have, but Madison Rayne has been in this industry a long time. She's been competing for a long time, and people start to question, do you still have it? And when you start getting upset by people like Callie Young, those questions start getting asked more and more. Maybe not to your face, but certainly the whispers. And I'm sure Madison Rayne, she's smart enough to be very cognizant of that fact.
Yeah, the whispers become roars, and Madison Rayne wants to silence those here tonight at Salute to the Troops in Fort Campbell, Kentucky. So a little sportsmanship being played back and forth between these two, a little one-upsmanship. So much happening right now on the road to Slammiversary. Stay close to ImpactWrestling.com, our events page for all the shows that we have between now and July 7th. Live on pay-per-view in Dallas, deep in the heart of Texas. Which show are you most looking forward to on the road to Slammiversary?
Boy, I don't know. To me, it's just going to be so cool to be in there in Houston, Texas. What a great city. Booker T, hopefully Stevie Ray, the unbelievable talent there with Reality of Wrestling. I think that's going to be a great night for Impact Wrestling, just like all of them. And it's happening on the eve of Slammiversary.
Yeah, I can't wait for July. And then, of course, Impact has already announced that following Slammiversary, first chance that you get to see Impact Wrestling in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. I believe that's July 19th and 20th.
Yeah, people already buzzing in Windsor, Ontario about Impact Wrestling's return.
St. Clair College, always a great host for Impact Wrestling. Callie Young has the arm locked up of Madison Rayne. Side headlock. Bit of a buzz stirring inside this arena. Great gymnasium that we've been a part of all day.
Yeah, this entire, I mean, the whole military base here, just an unbelievable setup. I couldn't believe how huge it was driving around here.
It's like a city, right?
Yeah, like we got through the security gate. I was like, oh, the venue's gonna be right around the corner. We drove for another 15 minutes.
Yeah, there's a Starbucks on base, a Subway, various banks. I saw a car dealership.
Car dealership?
It might have been like a auto body repair place.
Callie Young cinching in that armbar on Madison Rayne.
Madison escapes. Shot to the throat of Callie Young, and Madison Rayne goes up top, and an arm drag off the top there from Madison Rayne. We've seen Madison mix it up on Impact recently with the Knockouts champion. Taya Valkyrie secured a victory over Taya. That's 2 now that she has. Tessa Blanchard joined Don and I on commentary. What a great new attitude from Tessa Blanchard.
Yeah, I mean, always been an elite athlete at the very top level, and now it seems that she's really starting to get focused, and she hasn't lost that edge, but she's lost a little bit of that attitude, and that could make her even more dangerous.
You think she feels a little bit vindicated by defeating Gail Kim at Rebellion in a match that people are still talking about?
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's vindication, but part of it is I think that Gail Kim was always going to be that shadow. Was she ever going to get out of it? Gail Kim is the legend of legends when it comes to the knockouts division. This division was built on her shoulders. She's the one who started this evolution, and just it have to exist in that shadow. I think Tessa, no matter what she did, well, Gail had done it. No matter how impressive she was, well, Gail had done something more impressive. She had to extinguish that, and she went out there, and we saw two generations meet. What an unbelievable battle, and Tessa Blanchard silenced any critic there could have been.
So when you look at Tessa, maybe she's LeBron James, and maybe Gail Kim's Michael Jordan, and after LeBron got that first championship, he sort of got the monkey off of his back, right? And maybe that's what Tessa's feeling right now. All that stress, all that pressure could be gone right now, and then you start to look at, well, Gail won 7 championships. How many have you won, Tessa Blanchard?
Yeah, but I think what Tessa got too out of that whole situation and that whole match was she learned a valuable lesson. I mean, Tessa sometimes stepped into the ring always expecting to win. I think for the first time ever against Gail, despite all the tough talk, I think she knew that she was stepping into a situation where on some people's cards she was an underdog, and they went to war.
And a kick out.
Make no bones about it, they went to war.
Another cover, another kick out.
And Tessa came out victorious. Not only that, made Gail Kim tap out, give up in her last match ever in a ring.
Yeah, that was all a part of Rebellion, which you can still stream on Fight TV and pre-order the Rebellion DVD right now at shopimpact.com. That's one that you're going to want to have in your collector's case, right?
Yeah, and if you haven't seen it yet, it's worth it just for not just the great wrestling that there's tons of, but that emotion between Tessa and Gail after that matchup. Ooh. I mean, we really saw a passing of the torch.
Another cover here by Callie Young and a kick out. So we wait to see what the future holds for the Knockouts division in Impact Wrestling as we turn our attention back to what's happening inside the ring. Another upset perhaps in the works here between Callie Young and Madison Rayne. Callie floats over after the suplex, keeps control of the head of Madison. Callie has really evolved.
Yeah, she's really gained some confidence with her recent success. I thought that Madison Rayne would come out here and really go at Callie Young, but Madison Rayne really hasn't seemed to have gotten away from her game plan.
And in the long run, is that the smart strategy, to just stick with what brought you to the dance?
I mean, I guess as long as you're cognizant of the fact you got trapped once. You got beat by somebody who, in theory, on paper, isn't in your league. So maybe there is a good cerebral aspect to it that Madison Rayne saying, you know what, I'm just going to go out and execute the same game plan, just better.
Yeah, we'll see if you can get lucky twice as Madison Rayne fires away at the chest. Callie Young drops her there, starting to build some momentum here, trying to get it going, looking for the Northern Lights, high on the toes, and Callie Young kicks out at 2.
Yeah, Madison Rayne showing some of that deceptive strength that she has. She really is a tiny competitor by knockout standards, but so strong, like pound for pound, maybe among the strongest.
And now Callie Young, again, another cover. This time, Madison Rayne kicks out at 2. Callie's got to get a little tighter on those covers.
I think she does, but one thing I have been happy with out of Callie Young is that she keeps going for covers. That's something that I'm sure is getting stressed to her by Al Snow at OVW.
Gotta try to win the match, right?
Yeah, you can't win the match if you don't go for pinfalls.
Callie Young ducks the clothesline. She got caught up yelling at the fans at ringside. Madison Rayne turns her inside out. Madison Rayne with the cover, and this time Madison Rayne secures the win.
Madison Rayne avenges her loss to Callie Young, takes the advantage, the 2-1 in the rubber match, as you said, and shows, look, she's got wins over Taya, she's got wins over Tessa, and she's gunning for the Impact Championship.
What's going to happen in the future on Impact Wrestling? Solid victory tonight for Madison Rayne.
Experience Impact Wrestling like never before with instant access to all your favorite episodes of Impact, Explosion, Greatest Matches, Legends, content from promotions around the world, plus live monthly exclusive premium specials and so much more. Impact Plus has you covered with thousands of hours of on-demand action. Stream groundbreaking originals. Get more exclusive content. Start your free 30-day trial now.
The following contest will be a tag team match. Football. Introducing first, the team of Dave and Madden
OVE certainly have their footprints all over this show tonight. You saw Sami Callihan in action earlier against Sarge Chris Melendez. Jake Crist battled the world champion Brian Cage, and so far tonight OVE is 0-2.
I will see if Madman Fulton can turn those fortunes here tonight.
Yeah, he teams with Dave Crist. So really, I mean, you get any sort of combination, right, of OVE. They're like the Freebirds.
Yeah, they all live in one big compound. They all eat together. They train together. If they ever took a shower, they'd probably do that together.
Maybe we can get them like a big communal shower that they have to go through.
Kind of like Caddyshack. There's a pool and pond. Totally good for you.
Dave Crist, always with that scowl on his face.
Be a star, guys. Be a star. Stop bullying me.
And Madman Fulton. Oh boy. The namesake of Tried and True.
Former Impact star Crimson. Jack Dane, his partner. We saw a little bit of them here a couple of years ago.
Yeah, the War Kings now really honing their craft as a team. Crimson served in the United States military. He's a proud veteran, always giving back to the communities that he's a part of. Lives in Clarksville, Tennessee, which is a huge community of active and former military members, not too far from where we sit right now in Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
And the War Kings, they're now under the tutelage of Road Warrior Animal. And who knows tag team wrestling better than a man like that?
So a lot of pressure really on Crimson here tonight, as well as Jack Dane, the War Kings. Crimson is the man behind the scenes when it comes to Tried and True Pro Wrestling. And it was really Crimson Scott who approached Impact and said, I wanna do this show. I wanna honor the active and former members of the United States military, the men and women, their families. Let's put on a show together. And that sort of got the wheels spinning, correct?
Yeah, certainly. This is an interesting matchup here now with the War Kings and a unique combination of OVE. Kind of excited for this one.
So you got Madman Fulton and Dave Crist teaming against Jack Dane and Crimson. This one should be intense. Fulton and Crist are still on the outside of the ring. Yep, Dave's got some.
This man right here, sir, right here, and Fort Campbell. Is that what I just heard?
Yes, that's right.
First and foremost, before anything is said, I want to go ahead and say thank you very much the biggest dumpster fire I've ever seen of any military installation I've ever been to.
That's nice, Dave.
My big thing is this. I've never seen an old like this. My grandfather was a Marine, and to allow all these people to call themselves Marines on this military installation, you guys are a disgrace to the Marine Corps.
Dave needs to be careful. He's crossing a personal line here.
So I'm going to say one thing to you, sir. This is for my grandfather. My true Marine.
Well, Dave has said his piece in Crimson. Well, I think every time I see him, he looks leaner and leaner. I need to know what he's doing. I guess he doesn't go to Boston Pizza every night after the shows.
I think Dave Chris thought he was going to enjoy getting an opportunity to talk since Sami Callihan wasn't around. But boy, he's earned himself some right hands by the War Kings.
What a maroon, says Dave Christ, and he gets caught and suplexed there by Crimson.
That big exploder there by Crimson.
I don't know about this idea, though. Madman Fulton. And Crimson goes, what, 6'5", 6'6"?
Yeah, and he's still not as big as Madman Fulton is.
Fulton wants to get in the ring with Jack Stane. I hope we reinforce the ring before this one. These two are jaw-jacking, right in each other's grills. High face. Here comes Fulton. Jack Stane, like two skyscrapers. Who will give first? Looks like Jack Stane caught one in the eye. Jax with a clothesline. And now it's up to Dave Chris to calm down the big man.
Yeah, we talked about how Jake Chris is maybe the underappreciated, underestimated member of OVE. Dave Chris sometimes is the forgotten member.
Yeah, that's a good point.
As Jake has been going out and competing so much in singles action, Dave has been in more of an advisory role.
Dave and Jake, former tag team champions in Impact.
And Dave Chris is a veteran. I mean, he's been all over the wrestling world. He's toured extensively around the world, served time in Ring of Honor, served time with JCW, Juggalo Championship Wrestling, which I know is one of your favorites.
I love it. The three of them just got back from the United Kingdom.
I love it.
And they're going to be in Philadelphia this coming week. I mean, talk about guys, Scott, that have been really wrestling since they're teenagers.
Yeah, and barely teenagers when they started. Oh, Fulton coming in from the backside.
You better turn around, War Kings. Wow, double clothesline.
Fulton is just such an impressive competitor.
He's a madman. Oh, Crimson catches the steel post. Look at Madman Fulton, the way he just operates, just throws his opponents around. A powerhouse if there ever was one. Good luck to the official trying to keep these four at bay.
Fulton there with a little assist for Dave Chris.
Yeah, puts him there so he can tag him. Well, I thought that's what Fulton had in mind.
He's going to soften Crimson up a little more for Chris.
What is happening here? What are these two dialing up? Charge! Like riding a bull. Right into the body of Crimson. Shoulders down. Legs are hooked in a kick out.
Unique offense there by OVE.
Yeah, these guys are always thinking of different ways to take out their opponents. It was like an ox. He was like riding an ox.
I don't really know what riding an ox is like, Josh.
It's intense. And again, Fulton has, now he's using Chris like a battering ram. Swings his legs into the face of Crimson, who kicks out at 2. How do you control Madman Fulton? I guess you have to have somebody like Sami Callihan or Dave Crist to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you ever truly want to control him. I think part of that the value of having him, part of the danger to Madman Fulton is that he's not controllable.
You're like villains in a movie, you're like Bane in Batman. Like the monster that Fulton is, Crimson, a large individual, is being held up by Madman Fulton. It's one thing to use a delayed vertical on a cruiserweight. It's another thing to do it to somebody like Crimson.
Yeah, and Crimson's able to take advantage of that and use some knee strikes to try to escape.
Fulton falls into the right corner and a tag was made, but Jack Stane also tagged in from Crimson. Jack Stane, a house of fire. Look at the big man moving around. He's got Dave Crist up on his shoulders. Just drops him.
It's over. It's over.
Jack says it's over.
Get up. Get up.
He's setting Dave Crist up.
Oh! Pounced there by Madman Fulton. Intercepted.
Fulton drops both of the War Kings.
Madman Fulton now, he goes to get Dave Crist yet again. Drags Dave across Crimson and Jack Stane, and they both kick out. Fulton catches Dave, puts him right back on the War Kings, and again they kick out.
Not sure it was the wisest idea, Josh, to try to cover both War Kings at the same time.
And I don't know if Dave is all that happy with Madman Fulton. Fulton is just using Dave like a human shield. And Jack Stane takes out both members of OVE. The War Kings starting to build momentum.
Yeah, they seem to have a little plan here.
Spear by Crimson. Cover on Dave Crist. Fulton breaks it up.
Great awareness there by Madman Fulton.
Dave is rolled to the apron. Fulton trying to control the ring, and now Jack Stane and Madman Fulton. Dave trying to take advantage.
Oh, spit right in Dane's face.
Disgusting. Fulton grabs Jack Stane. Crimson's still down on the outside. Look at those shots to the body.
Yeah, he's doubled Jack Stane over.
Reversal here. Fulton into Dave. These two just can't seem to get on the same page late in this match. Oh my.
Oh, Jack Stane here, gonna show that powerhouse strength.
Takes them both down. There's the tag to Crimson. They called their signature mover off with his head. Sets him up. Knocks him down. Cover by Crimson. And a victory for the War Kings. Big victory here for Crimson and Jack Stane at Fort Campbell.
Yeah, impressive OVE in all of their incarnations here tonight. Coming up a little bit short. Impressive victory by the War Kings.
Got a feeling that OVE is going to want to head back to Dayton as soon as possible. Crimson can celebrate. along with his tag team partner, Jack Stain.
Experience Impact Wrestling like never before with instant access to all your favorite episodes of Impact, Explosion, greatest matches, legends, content from promotions around the world, plus live monthly exclusive premium specials and so much more.
This is spectacular! What a match!
Impact Plus has you covered with thousands of hours of on-demand action.
This has escalated quickly. He wants a world title shot!
Stream groundbreaking originals.
We are all artists.
Get more exclusive content. And experience a new and improved accessibility, control, and freedom like never before.
They are fired up here!
Start your free 30-day trial now and stream Impact Plus anytime on your favorite device.
And this crowd is electric!
Impact Plus. Experience Impact Wrestling like never before.
This night's just getting started!
In contest, winning 0-1 fall. There will be your main event.
Salute to the troops on Twitch continues with our main event. Crazy Steve was once a part of the menagerie here in Impact Wrestling. He is the face, as scary as that is, of tried and true pro wrestling.
So, when you were thinking of groups that Crazy Steve had been part of in Impact Wrestling, think of the menagerie?
What do you think of?
I mean, maybe something that involved a demon friend of ours, Rosemary, and a monster?
Okay. I mean, yes, when those three were together, Decay they ran roughshod, tag team champions, knockouts champion. I love a good origin story. So when I think of the menagerie, I think about the family of carnival folks who lost their carnival, needed to make money, and got into wrestling.
I totally thought you were going to say you liked a good origin.
And I like a menagerie. Crazy Steve.
You like a menage a three?
Menage, salute to the troops. I don't know, what does menage even mean? Is that a word?
I know what manja means, but if you look at me, you know that.
So much about Johnny Impact has gotten the attention of so many different people. I mean, his attitude changes from night to night, week to week. He comes out here, he slaps hands, and then 2 minutes later, he'll be insulting the great members of our U.S. Armed Forces.
Yeah, and something's a little different about Johnny Impact out here. He looks about 20 pounds lighter, Josh.
Yeah, he looks naked without the World Championship that he lost at Rebellion, and per usual, Johnny Impact has something to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to be here tonight. I have a lot of friends in the armed forces as well. Of course, me being from California, all my friends are stationed at Camp Pendleton. describe somebody who sucks. Sorry, girl, I couldn't possibly suck. I'm not in the army. I'm not wearing green. You know, I thought we were going to win. We need a high flyer. 101st Airborne flying out of here. But I didn't see anything in the sky about these words except idiots and bird poop. You guys start. I was happy to be here until you, and you. He's gonna pay the price for this. I'm done taking interest right now. I might just come out there and say, you and your mom smack down too.
The acting styling of Johnny Impact. You seen Boone the Bounty Hunter?
Oh my God, about 6 or 7 times. Why are you laughing at that?
I didn't know you were a big Boone the Bounty Hunter fan.
I mean, I picked it up at Dollar General.
It is available at Dollar General and on Netflix.
I mean, I'm telling you, it just...
Steve is legally blind. I didn't realize whoever's running your security to let people on this base is probably also legally blind. You let him on this base? Ah! Looks like he's got rabies.
You say rabies?
Crowd letting Johnny know what they think.
I got 2 eyes, and I can see things for how they really are. I'm a TV star. I came here to wrestle somebody professional. He doesn't have hepatitis.
Hey, get in the ring. Get in here.
Not tonight.
Get in here.
Not tonight.
So he's not going to wrestle now?
Take my money.
Come on.
Cracker Barrel.
I think Big Ted will have something to say about this.
He's going to Cracker Barrel?
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, after the show. Which, according to Johnny Impact, is now over. And I don't know if Crazy Steve's going to allow this to happen. Crazy Steve came here to battle Johnny Impact. And salute to the troops. Well, while we have the opportunity, we'd like to thank Fort Campbell for their hospitality. We don't speak for Johnny Impact.
Yeah, it's been amazing being out here at Fort Campbell, getting a chance to drive around the base, getting to meet some of the amazing military personnel here, and they've just been such amazing hosts welcoming us in. It's been a real honor to be here and be a part of Salute to the Troops.
Can't wait to come back. And Johnny Impact, he may not want to come back. He's getting out of here. He's going back to Slamtown.
Yeah, Johnny Impact has not had a good few weeks here.
Started at Rebellion, and it's gotten worse since. You think that, have you ever been to Slamtown?
Yeah, I've been able to avoid it.
I think the only 2 residents are Johnny Impact and Taya Valkyrie.
They're the king and queen.
Oh, Johnny connects with a kick, so I believe Johnny will have that wrestling match that he was trying to avoid with Crazy Steve here in our main event at Salute to the Troops on Twitch.
Yeah, Johnny Impact, an underrated striker. So crisp with all the strikes.
Crazy Steve lands on his feet, and Crazy Steve looking for a bite to the, he's like a monkey. Sunset flip, shoulders down. Johnny Impact able to escape into Crazy Steve with a drop kick.
Crazy Steve's such an unconventional type of competitor. Really hard to game plan to go into a match with him.
How long have you known Crazy Steve?
Oh God, it's got to be well over a dozen years. Do you know I let him drive my truck one time? He can't even see.
Yeah, he's legally blind.
He's legally blind.
And you really let him drive?
I did. Hope my insurance company isn't listening.
Oh! Neck breaker there by Johnny Impact.
He did great. I mean, until he didn't.
Yeah, I don't see that going too well for your truck or anybody in the car or anybody on the road.
Thankfully, it was a rental.
It's a very dangerous situation that you're admitted to here live on Twitch.
He did great. He used like the Jedi feel.
I'm starting to believe that the story is true.
Oh, it is. I have pictures and video. I'll show you. It's awesome.
I'm looking forward to seeing that. Maybe you can post some GIFs.
Oh, can you teach me how to do a GIF?
Nope, sure can't.
We used to have a guy around here who could do them amazingly.
Used to. Johnny Impact.
If you've ever been to the Impact Twitter account, which I suggest you do, we have an individual who's been handling the bulk of that, the heavy lifting, for a while, and he is a gift master.
Yeah, been a pleasure.
I thought it was Jeff for the longest time.
I believe the gentleman who invented it says that it's covered here by Johnny Impact, Jiff. And, actually, he said that you can pronounce it however you want. Jiff or GIF. He doesn't care.
That's very nice of him.
Yeah, just use it. He just wants you to use
I
it.
invented it. Use it how you want. Call it what you want. Pronounce it how you want.
Yep. Hey, how about
He doesn't even get royalties.
I don't think he does. And we want to wish Garrett the best.
Yeah, he's been a great member of the team here, working long hours, staying up late at night because he lives on another continent, and making sure that that great content gets out there on a consistent basis.
Oh! Johnny Impact is delivering some great content to the midsection of Crazy Steve off the ropes. And a big shot there by Steve. Steve's given up some height to Johnny Impact, but he's used to that in matches, right? He's made up for that.
Yeah, Steve's always been able to overcome the size difference. And Josh, I mean, don't forget, he's freaking blind!
Yes, blind. Completely blind. He can't see.
I mean, he's not completely blind, but he is legally blind. I mean, and what he's been able to do, being able to still chase his dream. You know, we saw earlier in the show Sarge come out here. Sarge, a war hero, tragically lost part of his leg in active service and then still chased his dream. Do you know how many people similarly told Crazy Steve, you can't be a wrestler. Look, you're a small guy, can't be a wrestler. He's like, there's other small guys. They said, but you're blind. He said, I don't care. Yeah, look at what he's done. I mean, former World Tag Team Champion and still an amazing competitor at the top of the industry.
Yeah, it's great to see Crazy Steve here, and his story really is remarkable. Johnny Impact feels he's done enough to put away Crazy Steve here.
Can you imagine if Crazy Steve scores a pinfall on Johnny Impact here?
It'd be huge. Wow, look at the Demon Rise. That's the clothesline. You know, it'd be one thing. I mean, Johnny Impact's had a real tough couple of weeks at it. I mean, from Rebellion, he failed to leave as #1 contender for the World Championship. And, I mean, the downfall of Johnny Impact could just continue here. And salute to the troops.
Yeah, and Crazy Steve certainly focused on earning back an opportunity with Impact Wrestling.
He would earn that with a victory, yeah?
I think so. I thought... Go for a cover?
Yep, hooks the inside leg on Johnny Impact, and Impact kicks out at 2.
Strong kick out by Impact. I thought Caleb Conley was very impressive earlier this evening. And then I thought Bram, outstanding. The way he was able to hang with Eddie Edwards, one of the most talented and toughest guys out there, super impressive. And Crazy Steve hanging here with a guy who's been dominant in the Impact World title picture for close to a year.
Yeah.
Well, until the Rebellion.
Oh, absolutely. And Crazy Steve, and now a nice Death Valley drive from Steve. Very similar to how Jake Chris pops that move off with a cover and a kick out at 2. And this is what it's all about, really. I mean, you want to see the future stars and guys that have had opportunities that said, I'm not done yet. Now you're getting them here tonight in the likes of Bram and Crazy Steve, Caleb Conley. And then you have someone like Callie Young, who, wow, had a great performance earlier tonight as well. Spanish Fly off the second from Johnny Impact, cover and a kick out.
Yeah, it's so great going out and doing these co-events, going out there with groups like HOG, going out there with OVW, going out there with Rockstar Pro. It's just amazing getting out there and seeing so many people out there that we don't usually get a chance to see, getting them here on our Twitch broadcast, getting them on Impact Plus broadcast, and really getting to sample the unbelievable talent out there all over the place.
Crazy Steve try to get the boots up. Johnny Impact spins him back inside the ropes, and we will look for the sliding German from Johnny Impact. Johnny's very good inside the ring. You can't doubt that.
And Josh, just to put a bow on it, so excited to be teaming up with House of Hardcore, Tommy Dreamer's promotion. We all know how much we love and respect Tommy Dreamer around here. And then, like you mentioned earlier, Reality of Wrestling, Booker T's going to be in the house. We get to see all the unbelievable talent he's developed down in Houston, Texas.
Johnny looking for Starship Pain. Comes up empty. This is an opportunity for Crazy Steve to capitalize. June 8th and 9th will be with House of Hardcore. And it'll be July 6th with Booker T and Reality of Wrestling. You can get all this information at impactwrestling.com/event. Get your tickets for all of these great shows that are right around the corner.
Yeah, it's so great. Tried and True, our partner here tonight on Twitch, then House of Hardcore, then Reality of Wrestling. We're bringing the best out there to the people here on Twitch.
Maybe we can find out where we're going in August so I can sleep at night.
Yeah, sure. What about September, October, November, December?
Yo, big time kick there from Johnny Impact to Crazy Steve.
And you're going to complain to me about not getting to sleep at night?
You do it by choice.
Do it because Big Ted's blowing up my phone all night long.
Johnny Impact rolls Crazy Steve into the ring and a kick out at 2. Great effort from Crazy Steve here tonight. Johnny Impact's got to be wondering, what do I do to pick up the win? What do I do to escape salute to the troops? I mean, once you start into have you ever had a long drought in your career that you just can't seem to figure out how to get out of it?
Yeah, it kind of started with my debut and lasted until my retirement, Josh. Thanks for paying attention.
Well, I mean, it can happen really in any aspect of that. I mean, baseball players go through a long slump. You can go a long time without scoring a kiss from a girl.
It's one of those things when you're in a slump, it's like you start overthinking everything.
Yeah.
And then you start getting superstitious. Is it the boots I wore? Is it the meal I had? And you just keep changing things up, trying to find something that's going to bring you success.
They call it the yips in golf. As Johnny Impact, he's confident enough to talk trash to the fans here.
Boy, he's really taking his time.
Countdown to Impact. This has a very low percentage rate of connecting. I think 0. And that percentage rate continues.
So shocking that you can't stand on the top rope for 5 seconds, then count to 5, and go for a move and miss.
He loves it. I've asked him about it in the past. He says, well, oftentimes I don't hit it, but I can roll through. I know that I have a way out.
Well, one of the things that costs Johnny Impact sometimes, he is sometimes just as much about the sizzle as he is the steak.
Big time crossbody by Crazy Steve. Johnny Impact used the momentum, rolled him inside, and I'm not sure that putting his legs on the ropes there helped him. He kind of put his body off of Crazy Steve there.
Yeah, on that angle, see, that's one of those things where actually trying to cheat actually cost him. He took his body weight off of Crazy Steve, helping Steve escape.
Interesting. And Johnny perhaps...
I think the word you're looking for was stupid.
Well, I mean, look, this is one of those things where if you're in a losing situation, if you're in a streak of losing, you're going to try everything you can, and maybe frustration, and you get sloppy.
Yeah, and you, like the rate we saw there, like you make mistakes.
Oh, that was not a mistake by Johnny Impact. That was a connection.
This man loves himself.
He really does. Was a member of the season 37 cast of Survivor on CBS.
Yeah, Johnny's been a reality TV star. He's been a movie star. He's been a television star, and he's been as big a superstar as there can be in the wrestling industry, in the wrestling business, because he's been world's heavyweight champion.
Ducks the clothesline. Collision to the center of the ring. Johnny takes advantage, drapes one arm over Crazy Steve, and nearly had him beat. Steve rolls it over. He's on Johnny. Johnny kicks out at 2.
There's another situation where if Johnny Impact could have went for a proper cover like he was months ago, this match could be over. Instead, he's given Crazy Steve another life.
Window of opportunity open for Crazy Steve. Can he take advantage? Can he capitalize? Can he force Impact Wrestling's hand and say, I just beat your former champion?
Wow, Crazy Steve wins this matchup, then I think Impact Management has to go to the ring, offer him a contract on the spot.
We'll see if that happens here on Twitch.
It happened with Josh Alexander.
Yep, it would be a magical moment for Crazy Steve, an emotional moment. Steve does have family members here in attendance. They were not a part of the menagerie. Look at Johnny's raking away at the face. Not only does Crazy Steve has vision oh, now he found Johnny. He found him. Steve now firing away. Shoulders down, Schoolboy. Steve rolls through. Steve, Oklahoma roll and a kick out.
Oh, big running knee.
Is that enough? Is that enough to pick up the win for Crazy Steve?
Yeah, Steve making a mistake and not going for the cover.
Get the shoulders down, pick up the win, Crazy Steve. Precious seconds slipping away. Crazy Steve off the top.
Oh, wow.
Johnny caught him on the backside with a low blow that certainly appeared to be blatant. And no, did he get him? It doesn't get closer than that.
Wow. Unbelievable. Crazy Steve able to get that shoulder up.
Johnny looks like he is seeing a ghost.
And Josh, you know, Impact has to be shocked because he's in here, he's out there with Crazy Steve, not going to say look past him, but even though there's no championship on the line, he's into those championship minutes now, later in the match. He couldn't have been expecting this.
Right, and Johnny needs a win here, just as much as Crazy Steve does. Johnny needs to get off the snide, so to speak.
Johnny needs it more, sorry, Josh, in some ways. Crazy Steve with his great showing is impressed. Johnny's got to end this streak. He's got to get a win back under his belt.
Johnny on the top rope now, and if he's not looking for countdown, he said military 450. Johnny busting out everything from the arsenal, and he didn't connect. Standing shooting star comes up empty.
Frustration showing with Johnny Impact.
Steve with the crossface. Locked in. Will Johnny Impact tap out?
Crazy Steve has that hook deep.
Johnny trying to turn, get his body closer to the ropes. Steve trying to hang on, trying to defeat Johnny Impact. And Impact uses his length and gets to the bottom rope.
Johnny Impact might not have the belt anymore, but still showing that champion's awareness.
Crazy Steve now not letting this opportunity get too big. Trying to hang on to Johnny Impact. Impact knows he's got a fight on his hands here tonight. They roll through back and forth. Johnny in control now. Shoulders down. Johnny's got a handful of the middle rope, and Johnny Impact steals one from Crazy Steve.
Well, we talked about Johnny Impact needing a win, and he got it by any means necessary.
Johnny Impact, championship minutes, desperation minutes, as Johnny's able to pick up the win here against Crazy Steve. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for joining us tonight here on Twitch. We thank Fort Campbell. We thank Tried and True. This has been Salute to the Troops. Thanks for joining us. Good night from Fort Campbell, Kentucky.